Shalom, shalom, shalom to everyone that's watching me. This is Rabbi Moshe Otero, Ways of Israel. I want to thank everyone that have been watching my videos every morning. I've had to put a pause in the English one, but we'll be soon resuming our series of the Sefer HaIkarim, which has had a lot of success, a lot of people watching it, and we'll be continuing because we're now, I believe, in chapter 22 of book number 3. So we still have a long way to go to finish the book. Incredible series that deals with the fundamentals of Judaism according to Rabbi Albo. Now, I've also posted right below here a GoFundMe promotion that we're doing in order to raise one awareness that we are on a goal to try to raise money for our own place. As you know, a lot of this that I've been doing is done from my own personal home in Pompano Beach, and I think it's time that we have our own location, our own place. I know we have close to about 25,000 people that on any given occasion is watching our videos via Facebook and social media. Now that's just the lowest levels, and I'm very happy that many of you have responded. Many of you have contacted me and say, and tell me keep on moving forward, don't stop. But obviously, as it tells us in Pirkei Avot, Ein Kemach, Ein Torah. Unfortunately, the world runs on a form of a liquid that's really not really liquid. It's actual green paper, and unfortunately without that we can't do the things that we'd like to do, including having our own home, as it were, to call and have different activities. And so I'm reaching out, see if you can help me raise the funds in order to be able to acquire our own place that we can call home to the Ways of Israel, Los Caminos de Israel. Every great movement starts with an initiative. We have over 40 different communities that I'm proud of, all throughout Latin America, and even our good friend, which I would ask you to please say Tehillim for him, our friend Rabbi Yaakov Baruch of Indonesia. Incredible man. He's burning his candles on both sides of the end, but we continue to pray for his health and also welfare, as he's doing an incredible work in Indonesia. And we're very happy and proud to have him as part of our families of rabbis of the Ways of Israel. Yes, believe it or not, we do have a large group of rabbis that have joined. The most newest rabbi is Rabbi Michael Perry, who's in Houston, Texas. So any one of you watching me and you're in Houston, Texas, please contact me. I'll plug you into Rabbi Michael Perry, a nice Sephardic kid. He has a family, obviously. He has certification as a mashgiach. He also will be representing Sephardic Kosher Supervision, and a lot of different things that he's able to do. And we're very happy and proud to have him as part of our team. And we are also preparing other rabbis under Darchei Yeshiva, or Yeshiva Darchei Israel. We have one in Ohio that you'll soon be hearing about. Our friend Javier is working on developing a community out there. And our good friend from Titusville, we haven't forgotten you. We've just been so busy with dealing with other issues in Latin America. And those of you who knows my work, we've been doing an incredible job in Cuba under the More, Rabbi Yosef Chaim, who's doing some incredible work. You'll hear more about him in the coming months as he's developing and organizing Los Caminos de Israel in Cuba, doing incredible work. And obviously we are always in need of additional rabbis to join forces to create this independent Sephardic movement that we're trying to push forward. And I would invite even, which I missed his arrival here in Florida, Rabbi Yonatan Levy. He was in Torat Moshe with Rabbi Hadar, which I missed him. I was trying to go over there, but from where I live which is Pompano Beach, it's a good hour and a half. So there's no way I was able to arrive on time to be able to go there. So unfortunately, maybe at another time we'll be able to do that. And it's very important that we create these embracement of new communities arising. And I'm so happy that we have a Rabbi Ansel as well. I just spoke with him today from Dominican Republic. He's doing an incredible job as well as in the island. There's so many things that are happening. It's very, with so much few time to be able to talk. But see, we need a place of our own. We need our own makum, that we can be able to gather people, to have events, to raise funds through those events in order to really, you might say, push the fire, push the movement, and put it in overdrive. But unfortunately, without money, as you know, without money, we can't do diddly squat. I don't know of one synagogue, not even one Chabad shul, that's able to operate with a 0 to 5,000 a year budget. And yet we've been able to do that. We've been able to do that because of people like you and people like me, that this isn't more of an issue of just making money. It's an issue of actually doing what God has commanded us to do, to bring people to the awareness of God in every part of their lives. And that's what, from day one, when we started Los Caminos de Israel on the radio, later than television, and later now in the actual work of creating new communities throughout the world. And we haven't even done much in compared to what needs to be done. My good friend Jeannie Milgram, who just returned back, or is still, I don't know if she's still in Rome or not, but she posted something that I was like all enthused. She had an incredible breakthrough. For those of you who've been working with the issues of the Anusim community, know very, very well her work. You might say I feel proud that I was part of her initial push in this area of Jewish genealogy when we first met, and right there in Miami in the hotel, and I think it was the Radisson, that we rented a room and we had the first Anusim conference in South Florida. Never forget it. She gave a lecture. There was about 20, 30 people that arrived for the conference, and she hadn't even written her books, her series of books, and as a result, she has blossomed. She has done so much good. And I tell everybody, in a way, it's like, you know, you have someone that is starting, and you see the vision, and you see the purpose. You begin to feel, you might say, proud of the work that they're doing, because it actually is part of your work. It's part of what you have been pushing for from the beginning. And that's exactly what has happened. What she is doing with her husband, Rabbi Michael, is incredible throughout Latin America, in Honduras. And she sees and she knows firsthand of the work that we've been involved in through our outreach, through WhatsApp and social media, and creating administrators and rabbis to be able to direct the new communities. And obviously, I believe it's time now to put it on an overdrive. And this is the reason why I put up a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to buy our own property for the Ways of Israel, Los Caminos de Israel. And we are a 501c3. And actually, I'm going to be knocking on doors to people that I know have money, and they can donate. And I'm not talking about a small donation. Obviously, to do anything great, we need larger donations of $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and and go up. It's possible. If with the little I was faithful, which we have been, I expect that when we get greater scales, that you're going to see things on a scale that will blow people away, in the sense of, wow, look what's going on here with the Ways of Israel, Los Caminos de Israel. And obviously, I would love to work with other rabbis with the same mindset. We need to move forward. As a matter of fact, when I had a chance to speak with Rabbi Chaim Ovadia, who is an incredible rabbi, we spoke about this, about creating a symbiosis of a Sephardic house. In other words, a house that would bring and relive Sephardic experience of old times, but in a more modern time. And he said, "You 100%. I agree with you." And we're seeing that happen in places like Indonesia. We're seeing that happen in places like Colombia. We're seeing that happen in places like Cuba. And it's very close to my heart. The Dominican Republic is right here close by as well. Puerto Rico is also close by. So I'm very, very enthused to see what's going on worldwide, and it really gets my engine moving, as it were. And obviously, I'm not getting younger. I'm going to be 62 in September, and pushing forward to become 65. And I've been thinking, well, I'm not going to retire necessarily. If I retire, I want to do something that basically I will be, fulfilled. And what better retirement than work in this area full time? But for that, you also need money, because everything comes down to one thing, and that is that God's will first. Yehi Razon, if God would want to be able to put me in a position where I can be able to do this full time without having to work. I work full time, so I'm not dependent upon, the donations of the people, but I'm definitely dependent upon you in helping me be able to reach the goals that I need to reach. And with your help, we can do it. We have a goal set up for our GoFundMe, and this is not the only fundraising. People say, Rabbi, I'm tired of hearing you asking for money. See, if I had a shul, I could be able to raise money in the shul. This is what most shuls do, is raise money for different projects and organizations. Don't have a shul of my own or a place we can be able to gather. This is the reason why, in a way, it's like I need to have a place where we can be able to gather. We can have minyan, we can have special events, special occasions to raise funds. And obviously I can't do this alone. This is something greater than myself, because if not, I'd be going through burnout. You have to be careful with burnout. And thus you have to rely on other people and on God's providence in helping every step of the way. I have seen so many miracles in my life that I know that if God wants, He can be able to touch people out there and say, you know what, Rabbi Moshe, I'm going to go ahead and give you what you need. There are millionaires out there, for heaven's sakes. People getting millions in donation to do something that God put in their heart. And I truly believe that God can touch someone, a very wealthy person, a person who had been perhaps following me, didn't believe me, and see where we have gone. It's not an easy task to start a community from zero to have about 40 or 50 people. And this is just the beginning, if God allows me, if I have the life and strength to be able to go forward in this mission. The good thing is that we have a group of rabbis that you don't see them right now in front of us, but they are there. You can go to our sunbiz.org. You can see a listing of all the rabbis that we have that are part of the organization. It's part of the growth, and it's only just the beginning. It's not the end. There's much more room for many other rabbis who have the heart and the vision of what we want to accomplish within Judaism, within the perimeters of halakha, within the perimeters as a Jewish institution of Jewish learning, Orthodox Jewish learning, and be able to move forward and grow. Who does not want to be successful and be able to see, as Moshe Rabbeinu before he left this world, be able to see the promised land, even though he didn't perhaps see it to its all complete fruition, but be able to see and say, you know what, okay, God, I see that this was your work in the very beginning, in the very essence. And so I want to say hello to Jeannie and Michael Milgram, who, I don't know if they're still in Italy or not, but has really, really, it was a euphoria when I saw her video regarding going to the Vatican and speaking with the Pope before he got ill, and that he's willing to bring forward all of the archives and all the information. Oh, that put such a thrill inside of me, because I've been to places like Santo Domingo that we were fighting to get archive information from the bishop of Santo Domingo, and to hear what she was able to do. She went directly to the head, as it were, and asked for this, and supposedly they've granted her permission. So Jeannie, a lot of blessings to you. May you continue forward and continually be used, you and Michael, by Hashem, in the work that you're doing in bringing awareness and data, information of so many people who happen to be of Jewish descent. All these naysayers, oh, well, you can't prove. Well, Jeannie has been involved in that type of work of putting everything in the puzzle of what happened, of tracing people's lineage all the way back, even beyond the Inquisition time. It's hard work. It's a very, very cumbersome work. But she's been involved in that. And so my prayers on a daily basis for her has always been there. And I hope she understands that her and Michael and many other Jews who support the work that we've been doing from day one, and hope and pray that in Israel they realize her great work and begin to recognize the status of those Anusim, forced ones returning back from the different Hispanic lands that the Rabbanut unfortunately have been discriminating against and putting them out and pushing them away as they were completely, like as it were, contaminated. But we're moving forward. Whether they recognize it or not, we are moving forward with God's help in creating new communities and making sure they're processed as Jews, returning Jews or converting Jews, but be part of growing communities throughout Latin America. And of course we need one here in the very heart of the international city of all Latin America, which is South Florida. So please help me. Please show your support by donating to the GoFundMe account. There are other campaigns that we have launched, including that with our good friend Rabbi Halevi from Fort Myers, with his community. He's trying to raise money for his Sefer Torah. And I have no problem to be the voice, the speaker, to raise money if necessary to help and to funnel these important work. For example, he called me just today. Now, there was some people down here in South Florida that were promising to give tefillins to Jews, and believe it or not, we were going to put them in there, and I think they were in South Florida somewhere. I'm not going to mention them name, because when a person doesn't, they talk, but they don't do action, you leave them alone. You leave them alone, you walk them away, and you know what? It all is talk. We have a lot of Jews that need tefillins. Unfortunately, they're not always here in South Florida where you can come and get to know them personally. Sometimes they're in Latin America. And sometimes they're not the type of Jews that you would want to have, because either they're a returnee or they're converted to remove all doubt. They're halakhic Jews. And that becomes a whole different issue for some of these people that only want to give to actual born, raised, red-blooded, blue-blooded Jews from mommy and papi, and that are not practicing today. That's a good thing. That's a good work, to have that. No doubt about it. But don't deny those Jews who needs the help of tefillins, of talit. Don't deny them. There are many Jews that need your help for tefillins. And I've been in campaigns to raise funds for that, for Torah scrolls, for many materials. And you'll see that in all of my videos. Even in Cuba, that we were able to send a lot of talit and tefillin previously, and then everything shrunk, as it were. But we're still here. I'm still asking. Help today. Help the Ways of Israel. You can do so in the GoFundMe account directly. You can do so with PayPal account by going to paypal.me/Los Caminos de Israel. You can do it via Zelle. Another way to be able to donate directly and immediately is by tapping our Zelle account at Rabbi Otero, Rabbi Otero @yahoo.com. Or you can just go to my phone number, 786-306-8211, and send me a donation. And it doesn't come to me, it goes to the Ways of Israel, Los Caminos de Israel. And I would really appreciate your help and see this GoFundMe just skyrocket and see it going up, 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 up. Thank you, those of you who have donated. Some have donated $25. Others are in the process of donating right now as I'm talking. But I want to thank you, because every single dollar counts to be able to reach the goals that we have put forward. Help us, please. Help us also. I'm looking for 15 people. 15 people that are willing to say, Rabbi, I want to be your monthly supporter. I'm willing to give you $100 a month, and I just need 15. This way our monthly budget will be covered. 15 people for $100 a month, that's $1,500, which is diddly squat when you compared the budgets of other synagogues and institutions that runs into the millions. So please, do me the help. Give me the help that I'm asking, and you'll see how we will flourish in bringing Judaism throughout the four corners of the world in the language that most people don't speak, Spanish. So we have, like I said, Rabbi Michael Perry in Houston, Texas. We also have Rabbi Miranda in Mexico. We have, like I said, there's so many. Hopefully we'll do a Zoom video so you'll meet every single one of these rabbis and the teachers worldwide, and how we're affecting change and good change and people coming back to Judaism, which is what we're all about, and not putting stumbling blocks in people's lives just because they're not recognized by the political structure in Israel. They've got to be recognized by halacha and be done according to halacha. And once that's done, look, Rabbi Stein basically, he saw a lot of the troubles taking place, and he decided to retire. He's not doing the job. And Rabbi Lehrfeld, a blessed memory, Rabbi David Raphael Lehrfeld, blessed memory, he would say to me, whatever Rabbi Stein does, he does it 100%, and he is as if I am doing it. So Rabbi Stein went to Cuba along with two other rabbis and basically converted over 100 Cubans because they had and they have Jewish ancestry. So to clear up everything, he did the conversions. Well, things didn't work out that well as expected because there were some issues there in Cuba. I won't get into it. But the bottom line is that now we, Los Caminos de Israel, slowly but surely are beginning to get recognized in Cuba as a Jewish institution in the island. Never happened before. Never happened before. And so I'm very, very grateful to God that God is opening up slowly these doors like it did in Indonesia, like it's being done with our friend Abraham Coleses in Philippines, and so many other different places. So I want to bless you and give you a bracha hatzlacha when you donate today at our GoFundMe account to raise money for a place of our own that we can call home, that we can say, here is where you can come to Los Caminos Israel in South Florida and be part of this incredible opportunity. We have already membership. You can download the application right on our group page. It's only $100 a year. $100 a year. Where are you going to get a membership at a shul for $100 a year? Okay, in English and in Spanish. And we also have Friends of the Ways of Israel, which are people who are believers in God. They may not be Jewish, but they're believers in God. And they also get a membership card, identification card, when they subscribe. But this in particular, we're asking for your help with our GoFundMe. It's right below here. So please go to that, share it with all of your friends, family. If you want to help me with this, please, I'll put you as a partner to share this campaign, to push this campaign. The amount is right there listed, how much we're trying to raise. With your help and God's blessing, with God's blessing and your help, we'll be able to accomplish what we put before Hashem to help us in this mission. Shalom, and I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.